Hello there. Unless you've been completely disconnected from the internet over the last 24 hours, then you will know that the first full trailer for Joker has been released. This upcoming Joker film that was announced last year, starring Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. As far as we know, it's set in its own universe, nothing to do with the DCU, which probably runs in its favour at this point, and it has nothing to do with Jared Leto's Joker. This is a new Joker story, as I said, with Joaquin Phoenix. The trailer's come out and it looks really good. I think, I was kind of skeptical about this, as I have been with DC in general lately, but I really like the trailer I've seen here. I'll let you watch the full trailer for yourself. I recommend you do that first before watching this video, just so you get the full taste of it. But yeah, I thought I'd make a little video, have a look through it, see what details we can pick from it. So let's have a look. Just so you know, I've turned the sound off on here, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But anyway, let's have a look. So first of all, we see a nice pan of Gotham. I noticed there are loads of details in this trailer that reference places and things from Gotham. So it begins with Joaquin Phoenix character. I think he's called Arthur Fleck, which sounds dangerously close to Ben Affleck, but there we go. And he seems to be in some kind of counselling session, having some therapy or something. And, she's saying, does talking help? And he gives us our first kind of creepy Joker smile. And here we see him, kind of down on his luck, not the Joker we're used to. It's worth noting that this film is going to be set in 1981. So, yeah, there's going to be no smartphones about. And you can kind of tell based on, like, the cars and the TV screens and stuff. And it looks like this is going to be kind of a Joker origin film, if anything. We can see here he's caring for his mother, who seems, unable to take care of herself in some way. He's her carer. And, he seems to have a good relationship with her. It's not abusive or anything, as you would expect a Joker relationship to be. And here we see, though, that, things still aren't going very well for Arthur. He's not a happy bunny. This here, we can see he's writing some jokes. It looks like this is going to follow the storyline that he tried to be a comedian before becoming the Joker. And you can see here on the right a pill bottle. It looks like maybe, he's struggling with some mental illness. We saw him in therapy earlier. Maybe he's struggling with depression. And you can see he's got some jokes here. It's hard to read most of them. One you can see there says, why are poor people confused? Because they don't have any sense. Sense as in money, but obviously the joke is sense. But yeah, and then a really good bit here at the end is written, the worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't, with a smiley face and the O of don't. And, not only is that a powerful line for the Joker to write, but I think it's a powerful line in general. We can't see mental illness when someone struggles with mental illness. It's not like a broken wrist where you have a cast and people can see, that you're in pain or that something's not right. You can't know if someone's mentally ill unless they tell you, and oftentimes, unfortunately, in society, people are encouraged not to make that common knowledge. So, kind of powerful there, I feel like they're taking this seriously, this idea of mental illness. And then here we see, he has this job as one of those sign spinners, which to me is just one of the, no disrespect to anyone who does it, but I would struggle to keep up any enthusiasm doing that job. I'd have to be paid a lot of money, and it looks just like hard work, and I have a lot of respect for people who, you see them flipping that side, doing really cool stuff, and fair play to you. I struggle to get enthusiastic like that on the best of days. But anyway, yeah, kind of a difficult job, very physical. And here we can see some punks, some goddamn punks. Where was Batman to stop them? Have nicked his sign. He's chasing them to get it and gets smashed out. And it looks like here he's been beaten up and possibly kicked in the nuts. So yeah, Arthur's not having a very good time of it, it seems. And here is something I want to note. We can see the bruise there from where it looks like he got beat up. I feel like there's a real sense of body horror shown in this trailer. Joaquin Phoenix, he looks like he's lost a lot of weight for this role. He's very skinny. We can see his spine peeking out there, his rib cage, and we see it a bit more later on. Yeah, he really kind of deforming his body for this role and contorting himself, very much physically acting. I really like that. It creeps me out, but it's an effective way to make you feel like something's wrong. He seems to be repairing his costume. And here we have the, if you just smile music, put on a happy face. He's dancing with his mother. Again, you can see the TV there is an old 80s big TV. Looks like this is their apartment, quite small, not very lavish. But they've got each other. He does seem to have genuine affection for her. He doesn't seem to be a psychopath just yet. I have a terrible feeling something bad is going to happen to her that might help set him off. And here we see as well, in, what is that, Donut, I think it's called, the big sign at the top there that says Donut there. Some kind of diner, and he's with Zazie Beetz' character, who I read on the wiki is a single mum, and it looks like she might be a kind of love interest for him. I imagine something bad's gonna happen to her as well that'll set him off. But yeah, I thought Zazie Beetz was great in Deadpool as Domino last year, and she's great in Atlanta if you've seen her in that. So yeah, I think great casting in this film overall. I mean, you've got Joaquin Phoenix, Zazie Beetz, Robert De Niro shows his face in a minute. I think they've done a great job. And yeah, the thing about this is he does seem to have as a character some people around him to keep him grounded and stop him becoming the Joker we know. He has a mother, he has a love interest, so but if something were to happen to them, then maybe that would be enough to push him over the edge. Here we have Arkham State Hospital, which I guess is this universe's Arkham Asylum. It looks gritty and, there's iron bars on the window. It does not look like a place you want to be. It looks like he's visiting. I've seen a couple of theories as to why he might be visiting. Some say maybe he's like a clown that goes to try and cheer the patients up. Maybe this is where he has his therapy sessions. Or maybe he's visiting someone he knows who's an inmate here. And here you can see a really horrible, gritty elevator and a patient just going through psychosis here. And Joaquin Phoenix is just straight ahead trying to ignore it. And yeah, it looks like he's talking to someone here through bars, so who knows who that could be, but yeah, I mean, he's got a reason to be there. And here we can see a comedy club. He's watching somebody do stand-up. And we get a little laugh there. That makes me think that could be, a kind of precursor to his Joker laugh, what that's going to sound like. And here you can see I think he's being inspired to be a clown. You can see one over there. He's putting his makeup on here. And again, we have another example here of the body horror thing. He's contorting his face like that, and you can see he's crying there, but forcing himself to put a smile on. I mean, I think this is him going over the edge. And here we see him on the subway, laughing to himself, freaking some guys out. They're like, "What's up with you, dude?" And then they beat him up. I mean, he just can't catch a break. So it's coming out in October, I believe. And here he is running. It looks like he's committed some crime here. You can see some blood on his face there. He's really embracing the Joker at this point. And then here's a interesting thing. You can see this is some kind of theatre or something. There's a crowd outside, some of them holding Joker signs. Maybe the Joker has put on some kind of performance here or something. You can see this is Wayne Hall, so it looks like this is owned by the Waynes. Given that this is set in the 80s, I don't think Bruce Wayne is an adult yet. I don't think Batman is going to be in here, but I think this is going to more follow Bruce's parents, and more on that later. And here he is being chucked out of Wayne Hall. And they're talking about a crime. Gotham's lost its way. I think he's done something at this point. He's embracing his criminal nature. Bit more body horror here. Sucking his gut and showing his ribs. I mean, yeah, it creeps me out. And there we have on the television Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father. So again, we're connecting the Joker to the Waynes here, and obviously the Joker is Batman's arch nemesis. Here it looks like there's loads of people on the subway wearing clown costumes. The police are trying to take down the Joker, and he's ditching his mask. So he's clearly inciting, some crime at this point. And then here we have, this is my theory, I think this kid that he is, interacting with is Bruce Wayne. And this is Bruce Wayne as a child in the 80s, and perhaps this is setting up, I mean, there's another Batman film coming. Is this a kind of secret prequel to it? And that this is the 80s, and then the other one will be set in the present day with Batman as an adult, and this happened in his past? I don't know, just a theory, but I feel like something's being set up here. Okay, so we have this walled off garden, this gated community, and this kid who looks pretty rich judging by his clothes. This could very well be Wayne Manor. Is this Bruce Wayne as a kid, and is this the Joker leaving a mark on him? Who knows? But I think it's very possible, and I think they could be setting up seeds here. I mean, to be fair, Joaquin Phoenix apparently was interested in the role because he had been offered roles in the MCU and DCU, but he was put off from accepting them due to the multi-film contract he'd have to sign, and he was interested in Joker because it was a one-off film. So we have to keep that in mind. But given that we're seeing young Bruce Wayne here, could it be possible that we're seeing, you know, maybe, I mean, maybe for now it is just one film, but maybe if it does very well, maybe they want to have some groundwork there set for if they want to do a sequel. And there we saw him doing stand-up. Here we have him dancing in his pants and really beginning to embrace the Joker aesthetic. Here we see Robert De Niro, and it looks like the Joker is... Robert De Niro plays like a talk show host, and it looks like the Joker is being on his talk show here. I wonder if he's going to like hold him hostage. We see a crowd outside with police. Is this going to be televised, and he's going to like incite the people of Gotham into rioting and stuff? I wonder. And here we see him running through Arkham, getting hit by a car. He's in his costume. Here he is dyeing his hair green, the iconic green hair of the Joker. And here we get our first proper look at him as the Joker. And I really like this outfit. It reminds me a little bit his look of Heath Ledger's Joker with the long green hair, the kind of the suit, but obviously the different colours. But I still think it's original enough to be its own thing, for sure, definitely. And here we see him. I really like how bright his costume is, and his face is compared to how dark and grey Gotham is all around him. He really sticks out like that. And here we see him fully embracing his madness, and Joker. There we are. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for this, I have to say. So last but not least, I want to talk about the way that this Joker character seems to be being portrayed to the audience. It kind of looks like, you know, the Joker previously has always been kind of just this force of evil and chaos. Whereas in this film, it seems like we're getting a more sympathetic Joker. Now, that's good and bad, I think. On the one hand, I think it's cool to see a Joker origin story. One of the, you know, most well-loved Batman graphic novels of all time is The Killing Joke, which explores the Joker's origin, and this film seems to be taking a lot of cues from that. And, you know, I think it's cool, the idea of, you know, showing that he was once a normal guy trying to do the right thing, and showing how, you know, even a good person can end up descending into madness, you know, when they just get shit on too much. But at the same time, you know, I hope that this doesn't portray him as a kind of anti-hero or like a kind of guy you want to be. You know, the Joker, when he is the Joker, is meant to be evil and, you know, this terrible, terrible person. And so I hope, you know, like, I didn't like it when Suicide Squad came out and Jared Leto's Joker was like seen as like this cool guy, and his relationship with Harley Quinn was like, oh yeah, we have a Joker Harley Quinn relationship where really, you know, it's a massively abusive relationship and not one that someone should aspire to. And I hope, you know, when they go dark and he turns into the Joker in this, that line is drawn and it's like, right, he is now a bad guy. He is not someone you root for, or if you do, it's in a kind of, you know, rooting for the bad guy type of way. You know, kind of like, I think they did that great with Heath Ledger's Joker. And I hope they do that in the same way with this one. I don't want this to be a kind of anti-hero or like Venom, how they didn't really push that he's a bad guy in that. And so, yeah, I'm totally up for showing us, for making us feel sorry for him initially, and then, you know, pushing him further and further until he just crosses this line where it's like, right, you are the bad guy now, no excuses. Kind of like Walter White in Breaking Bad, you know, you feel sorry for him at first, but eventually he just descends into becoming this total villain. I think it's also worth talking about, you know, where does Jared Leto's Joker stand now with all this? I mean, I really like Jared Leto as an actor, but I have to say I really didn't like his Joker, which I think a lot of people felt. You know, Suicide Squad, the trailer was really good. I was excited for that. And then the film I just thought was trash. And, you know, I felt like Jared Leto, I kind of felt bad for him. A lot of his scenes apparently got cut, and he felt like he was just in the film the wrong amount of time. He should have either been more of a character in it or less of a character. But what we saw just felt just like totally wrong. So I don't know. I mean, there is apparently a Suicide Squad 2 coming. You know, the film was financially very successful, if not critically. As far as I know, Jared Leto is still that Joker. He hasn't said he's not going to do it again or anything. So yeah, and as we've said, this film exists in its own universe. So yes, we could have a Suicide Squad 2 with Jared Leto's Joker alongside this one. However, I do wonder, the reaction of this Joker has been a lot more positive with Batman fans, and I do wonder if, you know, DC, Warner Bros. Will be tempted to replace Jared Leto's Joker with this one. We also have to, you know, it's so hard trying to make out the state of the DCU at this point. So the DCU still exists, obviously, with Aquaman recently and such, and the new Wonder Woman film coming soon. But the overall kind of lukewarm reaction fans have had to the DCU versus the Marvel MCU, you know, has prompted DC to focus on more standalone films like this and Shazam, which comes out soon. And so, you know, and then we've got this other Batman film that's coming, but Ben Affleck has since said he's no longer Batman. So I assume this new Batman film is a standalone thing like this Joker one. And as I said earlier, are they maybe trying to connect this Joker film to that Batman one? Will the Batman in the Batman film be this Bruce Wayne kid we saw in this one? Will the two universes be connected, or will they be set? I don't know. It's so hard to say at this point. It's such a clusterfuck. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting times. I think DC, you know, 10 years ago when Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy was going on and Marvel was just beginning with Iron Man, the MCU, DC seemed like they were killing it. If someone had told me back then that DC was going to be like a bad joke and Marvel would be like just this powerhouse, I wouldn't have believed them, because in 2008, 2 superhero films came out, The Dark Knight and Iron Man. There were other superhero films, but those were the main ones. And you know, Iron Man was the beginning of the MCU. Obviously, The Dark Knight was its own thing. And if you'd said to me at that time Marvel's going to be on top, I'd have been like, no way. Did you just see The Dark Knight? It's amazing. But yeah, you know, the tables have turned. And to be honest, you know, yes, I've really not liked DC's recent outings. I thought Aquaman was pretty rubbish. I haven't seen Man of Steel. I haven't seen Justice League, but I've heard bad things about both of them. I did watch what was it called? Batman vs Superman. I didn't think that was very good. I mean, I thought it was rubbish, to be honest. Yes, it's been pretty bad. It's felt like DC is just trying to catch up to Marvel. You know, the only half decent one I thought was Wonder Woman, but even that, it was good, but it felt pretty average compared to Marvel. So, you know, I don't want that. I'm not a hater of DC. I think DC has some great characters. You know, as we saw with the Dark Knight trilogy, there can be some amazing stuff done from it. So I'd love to see DC, you know, turn the page at this point and start putting out great stuff like this, and not worrying so much about having its own DCU or anything, and just focusing on giving us really great stories, whether they're connected or not. So let's hope that Joker turns out to be as good as this trailer suggests. I really like the vibes of this trailer personally. Thought it was really strong. I'm still skeptical. I liked the Suicide Squad trailer, and that turned out to be rubbish. So, you know, I'm gonna wait on this. Not gonna say it's gonna be a classic straight away, but if it's as good as these trailers are showing us, then I am excited, and I am looking forward to seeing this one way or another. And you know, and I hope it is as good as is promising so far. So anyway, that's just my little look at the trailer. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. That really helps my channel to grow. And if you're new here, yeah, feel free to subscribe. I put out at least one video a week and cover everything from video games to films to books. See you next time.